Welcome to another edition of the In the Ring Show. This is my review for Raw, March 5th, 2012, which is, of course, tonight. Gonna bust out this review real quick before I go to the gym and, get my fitness on, lifting weights and doing all that good stuff. Anyway, so we kick off the show with the HBK promo coming out talking about how Triple H versus Taker at WrestleMania. He calls out Triple H because he wants to know why Triple H finally accepted the challenge. Out comes Triple H. HBK was talking about how he was pushing the limits a few weeks back when they were on Raw in the ring together, when at the time Triple H was refusing to accept Undertaker's challenge. So Triple H, he was talking about things like, he was doing it for Shawn. And, he didn't want to look at Shawn as a loser, and how people were saying things behind his back. And HBK had, asked him right to his face why he accepted the challenge, and that's when Triple H said, as I just explained before. And HBK had said that last year, he said Triple H couldn't get the job done, and he was right, and that this year he's going to be right again. And then he lets Triple H know that he's going to be the special guest referee for the Taker vs. Triple H match at this year's Mania, which he sort of threw in the implication there that he intends to screw Triple H in their match at WrestleMania. So I really like the lead-in here. I like the fact that they're kind of making you believe that there's something amiss between Shawn and Triple H. I gotta see where this is going. I think this is gonna be a really good match, especially when you throw in the little surprise of Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee, kind of wondering whose side he's going to be on here. So after that, we get Santino versus Jack Swagger for the United States Championship. This match, though, at one point wasn't really about I'm not sure this match was really about Santino or Jack Swagger so much. I think it was more about forwarding the storyline for Long and Laurinaitis at WrestleMania. And even though it hasn't been confirmed yet, I'm pretty sure they're going for the storyline they're going for is Long and Laurinaitis at WrestleMania. So these two, of course, they go at it again. And while all this is going on, the referee's paying more attention to Long and Laurinaitis fighting.
Because Laurinaitis got involved in the match.
Yeah, Laurinaitis gets involved in the match. So then Long comes out, pulls him off the ring apron, knocks him on his ass once again. Proceeds to tell Laurinaitis that, no, this is not your show tonight, this is my show. Laurinaitis like, you can't do this to me, in his stupid little, sounds like he's been smoking too many cigarettes voice. So then after Laurinaitis and Long fight, then you get Oksana and Vicky fighting, and then you get Kofi Kingston, who had came out with Teddy Long, well, Kofi and Oksana, I should say. So then Dolph Ziggler was with Jack Swagger. So then you get also Kofi and Dolph fighting on the outside. And then you get Dolph knocking down Santino. But in the end, Santino wins with a schoolboy and becomes the new United States champion. And the place erupted when Santino won. Like, it was nuts. Like, I'm sorry, but, Santino is like one of the most over baby faces in the WWE right now. They seriously need to take his character and keep some of the entertainment, but also make him a little bit more serious at the same time. Because Santino is one of the rare guys that can be entertained in this PG era without being a complete buffoon. So then after we come back from commercial break, we get the history lesson number 1 from The Rock. Talks about, the Boston Tea Party, he was at the Boston Harbor. So then he proceeds to say, we're going to have a little party of our own. He starts throwing John Cena merchandise into the river.
Harbor.
Oh, harbor, but there was a little river there. Harbor River, what do you want to call it? But anyway. And then he talks about, taking John Cena's stuff, rolling into a ball, shining it up and shoving it right up his candy ass. Classic Rock stuff. I loved it. The segment was very entertaining. But then again, I mark out for The Rock, so
It was only the first of many for the night.
Well, and The Rock had 3 segments of his just for him. But again, I mark out for The Rock, so The Rock can do very little wrong in my eyes. So then we get Divas match between Alicia Fox and Eve. And honestly, yet again, I wished I had to shit, because that would have been the prime. Anytime a Divas match comes, well, okay, 90% of the time when a Divas match is on, that's the time to go take a shit or go get a beer or make a sandwich.
Zack Ryder made an appearance.
Eve wins, but then the fans didn't give a shit until Zack Ryder comes out. One of the biggest reactions of the night. You know, it's pretty sad when Zack Ryder can get a better reception in Boston than John Cena can.
All he had to say was broskies before hoskies.
And the place erupted like Zack Ryder was over like nobody's business. And the reason I bring up he was more over than Cena, because like nobody was booing Zack Ryder, but yet again the crowd, in his own hometown, mind you, the crowd was half and half for Cena. Like I said, it's pretty sad when Zack Ryder can get out-cheered in Cena's own hometown. I'm just saying. So, and then we have this whole little backstage segment where Eve kisses Zack Ryder and Zack looks all elated, and I don't know where they're going with this.
Zack was speechless.
Yeah, Zack was speechless, but his face told the story. His eyes look like fucking Christmas lights. Jesus Christ, they look brighter than Jericho's jacket. But anyway. So, John Cena cuts this promo before anybody got to the arena, talking about The Rock's accomplishments, says he needs to win. You know, talking about how WrestleMania for him is all or nothing. How, you know, if he doesn't win, then he's just going to be second place. And stuff like that. He kind of compares it to the Giants beating the Patriots back in 08 in the Super Bowl. So then we get our I'm going to call it the halftime main event, because that's in essence what it was. CM Punk and Sheamus against Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho. A good, solid match. I thought it was really good. They really had the two championship matches at WrestleMania, all four participants in the same match. You know, giving you a little sample of what you're going to see at Mania without, you know, really giving you everything. Jericho pins Punk here. Really good lead up to WrestleMania. Really making Jericho look like he can be a legit threat to CM Punk. And you need to build Jericho that way, because if every time these two are in any kind of match together and, you know, Jericho always beats Punk, are you going to believe that Jericho can beat him at Mania? Of course you're not. And if that was the reason you were going to buy the pay-per-view, well, like I said, if Punk was beating Jericho in every tag match, you'd be like, oh, well, Punk's going to win at Mania. What's the point in buying the damn pay-per-view? So, now we move on to Rock's history lesson number 2. Now, he's standing in front of the Paul Revere statue and talking about how if John Cena were on the horse, they would have shot him. And if John Cena had led the U.S. Revolution, we would have lost. And, you know, we would have been drinking British tea and stuff like that.
Playing cricket.
Yeah, playing cricket. Talks about the Queen a little bit. And then he sings his own version of Yankee Doodle Dandy. I can't do all the words, you know, because honestly I don't remember all the words. Go back and watch. It was fucking hilarious. Rock is entertaining as hell. But I will tell you how it ended, because that part really stuck out for me. Talk about shoving a feather up John Cena's ass, calling it macaroni. That part was classic. I fucking loved it. So we get the Miz versus the Big Show. Once again, Cody Rhodes comes out and he plays yet another embarrassing WrestleMania moment for the Big Show. He goes for WrestleMania X8, which Big Show didn't even wrestle at. He was eating at WWF New York when this happened. Now, I'm not sure if Cody's point was this was embarrassing for Big Show because he wasn't even on the card. If that was the point he was going for, okay. But if not, then I really don't get what was embarrassing about it. So, after this, we get the third and final segment of just The Rock by himself. Rock history lesson number 3. He's standing near the Boston Common talking about the American Revolution, how it was, you know, some of it was fought there, and how Rock was saying he has the charisma of George Washington, the smarts of Benjamin Franklin, and the you-know-what of John Hancock. And good classic stuff from The Rock. So then we get R-Truth versus Kane. Kane wins easily, and as I figured would happen, Randy Orton comes out after the match, RKO's Kane, grabs the mic, says, glad to be back, leaves the ring, and this is yet another unconfirmed match that I'm sure is going to happen at Mania. Is going to be Kane versus Orton. So we have 5 confirmed matches thus far. 2 unconfirmed, but I'm quite sure are going to happen. And the 2 unconfirmed are Boronitis and Long and Kane and Orton. They haven't announced them yet, but you got to know that that's where they're going with it. You just got to know it. So Raw closes out the show with a Cena promo talking about The Rock's history lessons. He talks about how The Rock is shook. He thinks The Rock is scared of him, and so on and so forth. So then The Rock comes out, says he's going to make Cena his bitch. He talks about how, if you strip away all the glitz and the glamour, the Hollywood, the movies, and so on and so forth, that is, it's going to be nothing, and it's just going to be, Rock making Cena his bitch. And The Rock here, he gets a couple Tooth Fairy chants, and it was, it's funny, the crowd actually looks down on The Rock for that, but the funny thing is, I'm sorry, but you can make fun of him all you want for taking that role, but just imagine this, people. Tell me if you were making millions of dollars to dress like that for a couple hours, tell me you wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, if you were given $5 million to wear a tutu for a few minutes, you wouldn't do it, and if you say you wouldn't, I say, fuck you, you're a liar.
Yeah, but it takes multiple months to make a movie.
Yeah, but the point is he got paid damn well for it.
Yeah, but it's more than just a few minutes is my point.
Well, okay, maybe so, but still. I'm sorry. I'll dress in drag if you pay me enough. I'll make a movie where I'm dressed in drag the entire time if you're paying me enough.
I'm gonna have to get that on camera.
Like I said, if you're paying me enough.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, you'd have to pay me like a movie star's salary to get me to do that. And I don't mean like a B class movie star. I'm talking like, like Tom Cruise, The Rock, Will Smith. You'd have to pay me that kind of money to get me to do it. I'm sorry.
Wuss.
But anyway, enough about that. My review or my grade for tonight's Raw, I'll give it a B. Even though this Raw was very segment heavy, very promo heavy, I used to knock wrestling for that.
It was a good lead up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did their job tonight. They're trying to lead up to WrestleMania, and they did that very well. The segments and promos, they did a very good job of, leading up to WrestleMania. And really, for a big event like WrestleMania, that's what you want Raw to do. Like, you really want Raw to sort of bring it all together and, make you want to buy the pay-per-view. And thus far, I have to say, I'm actually looking very forward to WrestleMania 28 because the card that they already have, plus the 2 matches that I'm pretty sure they're going to make before much longer, it's shaping up to be a really good show. The only match that you could count as a downfall match that you don't expect the greatest match is probably Boronitis and Long.
Now, do you think it's going to be just one-on-one, or are they going to make it a tag team match? Because now they have Oksana and Vicky involved, and they have Otunga and Santino as actually looking like a legitimate threat now.
If they want to make the match entertaining, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, that's my off-camera partner, Devastating Deb. And by the way, I'm in the process of trying to get an on-camera partner here. But in the meantime, you're going to get me. Well, some of you love me, so you don't care. But anyway, as I was saying before, I think they are going to make it a tag team match only because I don't think Long and Laurinaitis can carry an entertaining match by themselves. Laurinaitis used to be a wrestler. Teddy Long, well, I'm sorry, I don't really think at his age, in his condition, he can carry on a decent match.
But they have shown Long push Laurinaitis twice already on his ass.
Yeah, that's true.
And yet Laurinaitis has not touched him.
Yeah. Why they're having Laurinaitis show such restraint, I don't know. Whether it's a singles, I would hope they would put 2 more guys in the ring who can actually still go, to make these guys look a little bit more credible and better in the ring. I mean, I'm not saying it'll be. I mean, a one-on-one match would be kind of cool, but at the same time, I think I'd rather see a tag team match.
It'd be more entertaining.
Yeah, it'd be. I mean, yeah, I guess it would be more entertaining.
It would be carried better.
Yeah, it'd be carried better if it was a tag team match. Anyway, this has been my review for Raw. Like I said, I give it a B-. Let me know your thoughts on Raw. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And, well, this has been the In the Ring show with your host, Devious Damien. Good night, everybody.